top.
Man, I was watching the D-Rose documentary. I don't know if it was coming up, but I can't wait to talk about this subject, man. The athlete, and do we put pressure on them?
Let's go ahead and
segue.
segue right into
brother.
it. Go ahead and do
I
it.
was watching this documentary. It was the Pooh. I didn't even know that was his nickname. D-Rose documentary. Yeah. And I don't know, thinking about that number 1 jersey, Chicago Bulls, how much it meant to us as kids. Like, well, I didn't even realize the magnitude of what he was really doing in the NBA, bro. Like,
Reese had to educate me because I was
was really different. 3 years into the league, MVP. Like, for him to sit there humbled in front of everybody, like, I don't see why I can't be the MVP of the league. I don't see why I can't be the best player in the league. Like, nigga, LeBron is out here. Kobe's out here. What do you mean you don't see why? Like, that, I love that about D-Rose, man. That's crazy. Like, they put hella pressure on that young dude after what he did and then trying to get him back from the injury. Like,
and coming from Chicago, bruh.
Yeah.
Out of all.
Hometown hero.
That's hard.
First pick. And then to come out after all of those injuries and still be or seem like a good dude.
Man, he had everything.
Like, I would have been the most combative nigga. Like, bro, nigga, I was the greatest, nigga. And my legs, I would have had the worst attitude.
He's still humble.
Yeah, man. Still get buckets too, man.
I swear, I watched that documentary and almost had tears in my eyes after a while, because it was really like reliving my own life and watching his story. Yeah. Because he did start as like the young star that everybody was watching, and then he elevated into like damn near being like kind of exiled from the league. They didn't want him on the Knicks. He didn't work in Memphis. He went back to he went to the Cavs. It didn't work out. Like, you know, it was kind of weird in that time without D-Rose. Like, we wanted to see him be successful, but I don't know. He's
like, made a comeback though.
Man, watching the behind the scenes and knowing he wasn't really tripping off the court type shit, but working on his happiness and building his family and getting married and take like that. To know he was still good while he was off the court was cool. It helped my heart a lot, for sure.
That's what made me think of this question. I seen
put too much pressure on him
on
didn't
Netflix.
His brother get signed to that to Adidas too?
Who?
They signed his brother and shit too.
For real?
Yeah, I think he had like like one of the biggest contracts in Adidas history. And they said they signed his brother too, and like his manager and shit. So they was getting paid for every shoot too.
That's dope.
Like, damn, make that money, man.
That's crazy. And like, you're 18, you're 19, you're 20. You got the keys to the NBA. Here's hella money. You will figure it out. I know you had it hard 18 years in a row, but these next 3, they'll be fine. What? Like,
that's what I would say. Like, to me, I watched this Netflix documentary about Naomi Osaka, and then the whole documentary was just about. It wasn't even really about tennis. It was just how she's coping with being famous now and the pressure of going from like no one really knowing you and then becoming the best in the world. So I do feel like we do put too much pressure on athletes, but from my perspective, it's like if I was still playing sports, it's a pressure that I would want, because to me that just makes it even a little bit more fun if you do succeed. Like, isn't that the whole point of sports, is like to overcome the pressures, overcome the competition, overcome like whatever you're going through and still succeed?
Well, are we talking about the pressures of fame or pressures of your profession or pressures of what in specific?
It could probably be both. The pressures of fame and then the pressures from everybody else that we put on the athlete.
I think
politics and shit. Yeah.
I think it's kind of. I don't think you should expect someone to have to deal with pressures. But I think that certain people deal with it differently. And if certain people can overcome the pressure, then that's them. And if certain people need to stay out of the light, you know what I'm saying? Or, relieve the pressure, then that's okay as well. Yeah. As long as at the end of the day, like, you're great. Like, I don't care if you're like, if you a hooper and like if you Giannis, like they doing the free throw shit, he don't care. You know what I'm saying? Or if you somebody else that might react to everything like a Kevin Durant or something like that, but you still accomplishing what you accomplishing too. Like, I don't care how you deal with the pressure, as long as 1, it doesn't overwhelm you, and 2, you still great at what you do. But some of the pressure is unnecessary. Some things are unnecessary. Some pressures come from comparisons and other,
or like shock value from analysts,
like
things
just
like
going
to trying to get like views, so they put more pressure on athletes. Like when you comparing,
like LeBron and Jordan.
Yep.
Like he 18, coming out the league. Like let him develop his own career before you immediately start comparing him to Jordan, because that's a lot of pressures in itself, along with pressures of not having a father and trying to change his mom's life and all this stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Like that, I feel like is unnecessary.
I think a lot of times the sports industries and the money that they make put the pressure on athletes, not really the people. Like we just here to watch. Like Lamont said, we don't care like really how you handle it. Like if you're able to effectively or not allow it to affect your performance, then it's just like, you know, they're gonna deal with the pressure. We don't put the pressure on them. It's just what they signed up for, damn near.
We as fans, or
like
would you include the media in that?
Yeah.
You don't think the media? I'm just.
I think the media does add pressure, but I feel like you know, the NBA and the people in the NBA sign up for that, so they actually like put the pressure on themselves, damn near.
It's like you know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting into.
And
we're just here to watch and observe. Like, we can have our comments and stuff like that, but 99 times out of 10, the athletes don't really hear what we're saying.
But maybe what if they don't know exactly what they're getting themselves into? Like, of course, what if from their perspective they don't know?
What you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, you know. I mean, technically, but you don't know how you're gonna handle it once you actually there.
Right, but that don't mean we're pressuring them.
Like,
I don't know, cause if this motherfucker's out there calling you trash and saying you can't shoot free throws or something like, or you need to do this better and this better and this better.
Count to 10.
I think it's 50-50, man, because that fan pressure and that media pressure is like it's one and the same, but it is different. Like fans, we want our idol superstar fucking Draymond Green or Steph Curry to.
This nigga says,
"Hey, that's my favorite player."
That's my favorite.
Draymond's my favorite.
He my favorite warrior.
I want Draymond to embody the same shit that I like that hard-nosed mentality.
Yeah, exactly,
like,
I agree.
I'm gonna say what I want, and if I have to apologize about it,
maybe.
You feel me?
That is dope.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, but where it gets fucked up is when they ask them political questions like, oh, how you feel about Donald Trump? And we get to sit there and look at our favorite player and watch them go, oh yeah, I bump with Trump. And you go, what the fuck did he just say? Like,
so I mean, that's like an example of him putting pressure on themselves.
Man, like they didn't have to answer the questions, but at the same time, it's like, we do want to hear your opinion on the world. Like, nigga, you ain't just a football, basketball, soccer player. Like, you know, we want to hear your opinion.
Nigga, shut up and dribble.
That part.
Now that's pressure.
I was thinking that same shit.
that part is
or saying
sure.
You got to win a championship or else your career ain't going to mean shit. That's pressure too.
That is pressure.
That is.
You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. Sometimes people put more pressure on themselves, but it is a lot of people that put pressure on you, like, and nobody's like.
And I was true. To finish that last part, man. If it came down to it, if we all got like fame in our whatever sport or whatever avenue we wanted it to be, if I got fame through football, Meech got fame through basketball, it's only two I'm gonna drop. But Meechy would handle it like LeBron James. Like, he'd do it by the book. He wouldn't smoke no weed. He wouldn't drink no alcohol. He wouldn't catch him casino clubbing. His family would be straight. I'd probably do it like Lamar Odom. I'd be out there fucking Kardashians. You would deal with.
He said Lamar Odom. I fuck with you.
I didn't expect that, but that's keeping it real.
Everybody would deal with that.
Hey, what the
fame.
Weeknd say? But if I OD, I want you to OD right beside me.
Come on, dog.
I want you to follow right behind me.
That shit's crazy.
I want you to hold me while I'm smiling, while I'm dying.
Yeah, I just think that when you're at that level, making that much money, providing for, you know, all those people, then yeah, that's pressure. But you know, when fans have things to say, then it's just like,
You know who's going through that right now?
Who?
CP3.
Yeah.
Man, had a chance to win it all. Man. Everybody know. You seen that one? It was I think it was like an interviewer, and they asked Devin Booker, how do you feel about this loss? How do you feel about like CP3 basically losing this game? He asked Devin Booker that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even answer that question. But like,
I still don't understand that.
yeah. Well, I mean,
That's totally disrespectful.
that is disrespectful.
I'm trying to understand.
He was
like,
right next to him, right there.
He asked Devin Booker, how do you feel about CP3 losing this game?
He said performance. Yeah. And CP3 just looked up like, what?
That's pressure.
That is pressure. That's what I'm saying. Man. But
I
speaking
don't
of...
think CP3 had no pressure these finals.
What?
No, I don't think he had.
the whole time
This
I
was
was
his
I
chance.
think
I
if
think
he,
so.
if he
Most
would have
part.
won one, I don't think it would have changed how people view him. Because he's still CP3.
I think it does change
And
how
at
certain
this
people
point-
view him.
It was also like a lot of people still were gonna make that excuse. Like it was a lot of injuries this year. Like so, I don't really think that this finals would have changed CP3's.
But at the end,
But that's why he
end
should.
of the
That's
day,
why people can make that argument. Like this would have been his best year to win because of all those injuries, and most importantly, he wasn't injured. Least he was able to play all the games in the finals. So most of his career, he always gets hurt in the playoffs or at the wrong time. So I would say that's more pressure because it's like this was to some people they'll say this was his only moment.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Unless he goes to the Lakers, he might have another.
Go
chance.
ahead and come to
That's
the
why
Lakers.
I don't think that's pressure because even though that's his only moment, like you
That's not
still
pressure to you.
Solidified as one of the best point guards of all time.
But
It's not
he
really a
like,
lot.
But
of
is he
pressure
top
on
five?
Yeah, I was gonna say if
Top
him
five?
being one of the best point guards of all time, does that like give him first ballot Hall of Fame, or do he need that championship to?
It depends on who you asking.
Yeah.
I think
I think he definitely is first ballot Hall of Fame.
I do too.
Because
Me
he's
too,
well
yeah.
respected, and he's the president of the Player
But when
Association.
when it
But-
comes to point guard rankings,
and on-court accomplishments,
you know, like that
Rings
championship to some people is going to matter.
Yep.
Like some people going to put a Magic, a Steph,
nigga.
Isaiah Thomas. Or,
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
think Chris Paul at this point in his career even like feels that pressure
Yeah.
Yeah.
after being in the league that long? Like
Yeah.
Pressure to win.
opinions,
Yeah.
expectations from other
For
people.
sure.
Yeah.
What I mean, we're gonna see by his decision. Like if he choose to go to the Lakers,
He's
That's
not going
going-
to the Lakers, Meech.
Yeah, he
for
coming to the
last
Lakers.
time, bro. You
either
want that to
hey, I
happen
just want to
so
say this:
bad.
either Chris Paul or we gonna get
Dollar.
Demar. Oh yeah, Dame.
God.
Or we gonna get Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan.
That'd be two good pickups for the bench.
Yep. Well, for the bench,
Yeah. Who gonna start?
I'll
You gonna
take-
start Kyle Lowry, fat
Yeah.
ass?
yeah, I'll start Kyle Lowry.
I'd rather have him coming off the bench killing shit. I'm not saying he can't start.
Let him eat a meal, on the bench before he come in the game.
Like Kyle Lowry, I ain't gonna lie. I had to.
Y'all
What
can
am I
have
trying to
Kyle-
say?
Y'all can have Kyle Lowry. Y'all can have Kyle Lowry.
He earned my respect.
yeah,
He earned my respect
They started
he earned my respect the year they won.
I'm starting
because he
Kevin
show
Hart.
up in big moments. Like
Exactly.
I'm starting Kevin
he
Hart.
do,
guarding
he
Kyle
do,
Lowry.
he
You
do.
putting Kevin Hart on Kyle Lowry?
The whole game.
I agree, bro.
Full
I
court
said
press.
who?
Kevin Hart.
He said
Y'all-
Kevin
Y'all
Hart.
can have
Where he
Kyle
went-
Lowry.
where
in
he
the
went
game.
up. Disrespectful
That's not moving the
Kyle
needle
Lowry
at
a
all.
bully.
What?
That's
gonna
not
bully
moving
the
the needle
motherfucker.
at all.
You seen the one-on-one video? Kevin Hart beating Kyle Lowry shit up one-on-one.
How long ago was
in
that?
the pickup game? That was pre-championship. He probably.
I mean, we can say that about Draymond. He lost to Kevin Hart in the 3-point contest. He lost too.
They should not
He
be
lost.
losing to Kevin Hart, though. I gotta say this.
God.
Like, how?
This was in 2016. I feel like
Yeah.
He's an NBA player.
I hope y'all get Kyle Lowry, actually.
me too.
Before-
and
Me
DeMar
too.
DeRozan.
And DeMar DeRozan, exactly.
Yeah, that's not going to change nothing.
The whole city of Toronto.
Go ahead.
Y'all still need a starting point guard, but you know,
Go ahead.
I mean, I would take Kyle Lowry as a starting point guard, and then
I mean, if you
and
have
then
to.
bring
So-
Caruso off the bench, and then
You say that like Caruso.
Caruso needs.
Hey,
I don't
what I'm supposed
like-
to do?
I don't
What?
like Caruso, bro. I
Right.
He
ain't
gonna
gonna lie.
retire a Laker.
LeBron is the point guard anyway.
Maybe I don't
Oh
watch
yeah,
enough.
Lakers.
LeBron.
LA.
LeBron could play point
LeBron is the
guard.
point guard anyway. He's going to be the point guard regardless of who's out there.
I want everybody's opinion on this.
You gonna leave Kyle fat ass to just sit there and shoot all day?
He's not worth the sign then.
You know what I'm saying? He gotta play. He gotta come off the bench. I'm sorry.